Hey there and welcome back. Today we're talking about something that stresses out just about every dog owner I know, leaving your dog somewhere overnight. Maybe you've got a trip coming up. Maybe it's the holidays and families expecting you. And you've got this list of boarding places in Pflugerville, and honestly, they all kind of look the same from the outside. Clean photos, happy dogs, friendly staff. So how do you actually tell them apart? You ask better questions. That's the whole game. So let's walk through the ones that actually matter. Start with supervision. This is the first question, and I'd argue almost everything else hangs off it. Ask how many hours a day your dog is actively watched, and ask who's in the building overnight. Because a kennel that locks the doors at 6 in the evening and reopens at 7 the next morning is a completely different product from one that has a human on site all night long. Neither one is automatically wrong. Plenty of dogs do just fine in a quiet, empty building, but you should know exactly which one you're paying for, and you shouldn't have to guess. Here's the thing about boarding problems. They're almost never about bad people. Nobody's out there trying to do wrong by your dog. What actually happens is gaps. A scuffle nobody caught early. A gate that didn't latch. A dog who stopped eating and nobody noticed until the next shift. Those are supervision gaps, not character flaws. So the more eyes on the floor, the fewer gaps. Now, when you ask about supervision, you're going to get a lot of soft answers. Oh, we keep a really close eye on them. That's not an answer. That's a feeling. What you want are numbers you can actually picture in your head. So ask, how many handlers are on the play floor at one time, and how many dogs are in each group? Ask whether someone is physically in the building overnight, or whether it's empty after the last pickup. Ask what training a new handler goes through before they're allowed to run a group by themselves. Ask how long the current team's been there, because constant turnover means nobody ever really learns your dog. They're just processing him. And ask whether there are cameras, and whether you can actually see the feed. On ratios, let me give you rough numbers to sanity check against. These shift depending on the dogs involved, so treat them as a gut check, not gospel. For small dog play, somewhere around one handler for 10 to 15 dogs is reasonable. Injury risk is lower, but small dogs are sneaky about hiding stress, so you still need attention. For large or high-energy play, tighten that up to one handler for 8 to 12. Play escalates fast in that group, and you need somebody close enough to interrupt early. Puppies should be tighter still, one handler for 6 to 8, because puppies are building habits in there that stick around for years. And overnight, at least one person in the building. Illness and distress don't wait politely until morning. Okay, let's talk emergencies. This is where you really learn who you're dealing with. Ask what happens at 2 in the morning when a dog stops eating or bloats or splits a paw pad open. And listen to how the answer sounds. It should sound rehearsed, slightly boring even, like they've said it 100 times. If somebody's inventing the answer while you stand there, that tells you everything. Ask which emergency vet they use and how far away it is. Pflugerville and Round Rock both have 24-hour clinics that are minutes away, so a vague answer here is a genuine problem. Ask who's authorized to approve treatment if they can't reach you. Ask what the plan is if the power goes out, because Central Texas storms and summer grid strain are just part of life here, and a kennel with no generator and no cooling plan gets dangerous fast. Ask how medications get logged and who double-checks the dose. And then ask this one, because it's the question that separates the careful operators from everybody else. What's the written policy after a dog-to-dog incident, and will you hear about the minor ones too? A facility that only calls you about serious injuries is quietly deciding what you get to know. You want the small stuff. The small stuff is the pattern. Next up, group play. Ask how dogs get evaluated before they join a group, and ask what happens to the ones who don't pass. A real temperament assessment is controlled introductions over time. It is not a 5-minute hello in the lobby while you're signing paperwork. Then ask how the groups get split up. Size, age, energy level, play style. Those matter enormously. Breed matters far less than people think. And honestly, some dogs just shouldn't be in open play at all. A good facility will tell you that straight up instead of forcing your dog into a group, because that's how the schedule works. If your dog does better with one-on-one attention and structured walks, ask whether that's actually an option during a longer overnight stay. Ask about rest too. This one gets overlooked constantly. Dogs who run for 10 hours straight go home absolutely wrecked, and over time they start dreading drop-off. Good boarding has downtime built in. Here's my favorite piece of advice on all of this. Book 1 day of daycare before you commit to a whole week. 1 drop-off and 1 pickup will teach you more than any tour ever will. Watch whether staff greet your dog by name on the second visit. Watch whether the report you get back is specific to your dog or clearly copied from a template. And while you're there, a few red flags. You're not allowed past the lobby and nobody explains why. Vaccine requirements that get loose or waived for anyone who pushes back hard enough. A sharp ammonia smell, which means waste is sitting too long. Nobody asks you a single question about your dog, or you get quoted a price before anyone's learned your dog's age, size, or history. One last thing, specific to living here. Summers around Piccadilly Drive and the wider North Austin area sit above 100 degrees for weeks at a stretch. So outdoor turnout should shift with the forecast, not run on a fixed clock. Ask what time dogs actually go outside in July and what the shaded or indoor alternative looks like at midday. And ask how they staff Thanksgiving and spring break, because kennels across Round Rock and Hutto fill right up, and coverage gets thin exactly when you need it most. Any place worth trusting will answer all of this without flinching. So if you want to run that list past somebody, we're Dog Daycare Pflugerville, right here in Pflugerville, Texas. Give us a call at 737-259-7735. Come take a tour, bring your hardest questions, and we'll walk you through it. No pressure at all. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and give your dog a scratch behind the ears from me.